So I don't know what's going on with the old ski with hair. It's a mess. But I've been running around doing lots of things and working, so that would probably be why. Um, yeah, so today is Mediumship Monday. I wanted to make a little bit of a video about mediumship. You're just going to have to forgive this because otherwise I'm going to have to take it down and do it again, and I can't be bothered. So just don't get distracted by it, because actually the information might be good. It might be quite okay. So the thing that I wanted to say is I had this conversation with somebody yesterday about mediumship and um, and spirit communication in general. You know, there are people out there that channel different things, right? Energies, Palladians, aliens, entities, all sorts of things that I think, you know, maybe they exist somewhere in this creation that is God. Because I trained in spiritualist churches, I have, the foundation training was all about connecting with people who, have been here, have been human, have existed, have lived. You probably knew them; they were your loved ones, and so that there could be messages relayed, to the people that you love. It was based on love. So whenever it gets too airy fairy for me, mediumship, spirituality, whatever, I don't know, it grinds my gears, rubs me up the wrong way. I don't really resonate with it because I think this, there if unless you in spiritualist churches in the UK, the underlying theme is evidential mediumship to prove the existence of something else. When you start going into all of these other realms, it's a very grey area because you can't always validate what it is that you're receiving. When somebody sits down in front of you and you give them concrete evidence about the person that you're connected to, your loved one, it is concrete, it is factual, you can prove it. Some of the other spaces, it's a bit wishy-washy, and I think that if you're connecting to spaces where it isn't once again grounded or rooted in the human experience, which if you're not connecting to somebody's loved ones, then you're not connecting to that space, then it's missing that. Once again, I think horses for courses, each to their own. Do what you need to do. If you want to do light language and channel the Palladians, that's your business. But yeah, I'm not interested. I don't resonate with it. And I think that mediumship, if you really want to have an integrated system with that skill, then maybe you should be helping people, with, I guess, giving them some love in the sense of, um, I don't know, the things that are going to be most nourishing for their spirit and their soul, which I would say is connecting to their loved ones, their family. I understand sometimes people have to go to middlemen or via other things to connect to certain aspects or spaces within themselves. And if that work does that and empowers people in that way, wonderful, great. Now, my issue is if you do channeling and it's very fantastical and escaping and not actually dealing with your shit and your life and your problems and your real whatever feelings, which I think once again the mediumship space really does do that because you're often dealing with loss or grief or people's pain. But if channeling is not taking you to those spaces or actually helping somebody with their life, it's a form of spirituality that's distracting from the human experience, not helpful. Not helpful. So yeah, and I think that's what radio station do you want to tune into? I am for spirituality being grounded and rooted. Now listen, I've sat with trance mediums who are channeling Native Americans. I have sat with in circles where I have gone into trance mediumship, which would be channeling. I just think that when we're dealing with people and their human lives, it's here. It's here. I get sometimes to connect to maybe spiritual wisdom and spiritual knowledge, it can seem that we have to extend to this other thing. my thing in regards to that is just connecting to God. It's God. It's all God. Just go straight to the source. You don't have to go via, all of these other avenues, which can make things really messy and tricky because they're not actually tangible things. Like I'm saying, if you're doing mediumship and you're working with somebody who, this person used to be alive, that was a tangible thing. As far as we are aware at the moment, some of these other spaces, we don't have validation or proof for that. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean that it isn't truthful and that it doesn't exist, but if it isn't helping you with logical, practical, material, messy hair, like life shit, what's the point? So that's it. That's what I'm going to say for today. If you want to give for these videos, you can give for these videos. It is PayPal at Kyle Treslove. Like I will always say, remember, all is good, all is God, all is love. I think that it's all from God. That's the joke. That was the last video. So I will say this until we connect again soon. In a bit.